Hello students. So in this chapter we have learned about tribal society and how the tribal society was fast changing with the times. Now today we'll discuss about two main or powerful independent tribal kingdoms. Gonds. The Gonds are one of the most powerful tribal communities in central India. The name Gond probably comes from the Telugu word Konda, which means a hill. So, from an early time, they have been living in the upper Narmada Valley and the neighboring forest areas, which had many hills. So, this region is also called Kondwana. Around the late 14th century, the Gond tribesmen they began to organize themselves into groups. So several Gond kingdoms came up in Mughal times. According to the Akbarnama, Gharkatanga was one of the most powerful kingdom of its time. Rani Durgavati. So one of the most and towering personality of the Gonds was Rani Durgavati. Uh, After the death of her husband, she began to rule as a regent of her minor son, and Akbar offered her as the choice of becoming a vassal, a subordinate to the Mughal, and thus live peacefully. But she refused to acknowledge Akbar's overlordship, and in 1565 the Mughals attacked Gharkatanga, and Rani Durgavati she put a stiff resistance and died fighting for the cause of her kingdom. Administrative system. So we have read that the tribal society was largely equal in nature. But when small clans joined together to form a kingdom, the situation changed. The Gond society got divided into many unequal social groups. The administrative system also changed to meet the needs of larger kingdoms, so it became more centralized. Kingdoms were divided into ghars. Each ghar was divided into numerous chaurasis, which were made up of 84 villages each. Then each chaurasis it was further divided into barhots, and each barhot consisted of 12 villages. So this is the administrative system. It was a centralized system. It became more centralized. Kingdoms were divided into ghars. Each ghar again it was divided into numerous chaurasis. Chaurasis 84 village. Each 84 village it was further subdivided into barhots. Barhots means it consisted of 12 villages. So the Gond kingdoms they were very rich. They exported elephants to other kingdoms including the Mughals, and one of the reasons why Akbar decided to invade Gharkatanga was his desire to capture this resource. Occupation. Their major occupation, they'll do agriculture. So the Gonds practiced agriculture, but it was largely jhum cultivation. Jhum cultivation is also known as shifting cultivation or the slash and burn agriculture. Slash and burn agriculture, and most Gonds led a nomadic lifestyle. They led a nomadic lifestyle. Slash and burn method in that cultivation, trees are cut and bushes are burned on a patch of land in the forest, and the crop is grown, and when this land loses its fertility it is left and people move to another land, and the same method it will be followed by them. So they'll do jhum cultivation. Jhum cultivation is also known as shifting cultivation or slash and burn agriculture. So one they will trees will be cut down and the bushes are burned on the patch of the land in the forest, and the crops is grown. um, when this land loses its fertility, it is left and people move to another land, and the same method will be followed by them. And they'll have a nomadic lifestyle. Nomadic lifestyle, they won't settle down at on one place. They'll always have movement. They'll move from one place to another place. Then decline. How Gond tribe or the Gond kingdom declined. So the Gond kingdom, they survived for a long time, but gradually they lost their power. The Marathas defeated them and took over some of their territories. The English and then during the 19th century, English took over Gondwana. So the English finally took over Gondwana in the 19th century. Now we have the second most powerful kingdom was Ahoms. Tribal kingdom was Ahoms. The Ahoms were a tribal community who established a kingdom in the region of present-day Assam. The name Assam is probably derived from the word Ahoms. So the original homeland of the Ahoms may have been China, and from there they have migrated to Burma, and in the 13th century they came to Assam. So from China they migrated to Burma, present day Myanmar, and from Myanmar they came to Assam, which was earlier known as Kamarupa. So they have clashed with the local tribals such as Kacharis, Khasis and Nagas. They are the local tribal group of Assam. So when they came, when Ahoms entered India, when Ahoms they came to Assam, they had clashed with the local tribes and they finally settled in northern eastern Assam and they set up a stable government. And the first powerful Ahom king was probably Sukhappa. He ruled for 40 years from 2028 to 1268. From 1228 to 1268. Expansion. How Ahoms they have expanded their territories. So the Ahoms they expanded their territories by defeating the local rulers. They also fought against the Mughals. But Aurangzeb managed to conquer Gargaon, the Ahom capital, but was unable to keep it under his control for long. So in theory, however, the Ahoms ruled as a vassal subordinate to the Mughals, but they also expanded their territories by defeating many local rulers, and they also fought against the Mughals. Mughals they always tried to capture Ahom kingdom. Life in an Ahom village. The Ahoms had a tribal setup. The village community was very powerful. It allotted land to peasants based on their needs. The peasants cultivate food crops, mainly rice, on their land. And when peasants and they also have had to serve in the army during the wartime. Peasants and other people, they also had to serve in the army during the war. People lived in the houses made up of bamboo houses, which was locally available for them. And tribal gods were worshipped. But in 18th century, some Ahoms they adopted Hinduism as their religion. So, however, worship of tribal gods it was continued. But during 18th century, some Ahoms they have adopted Hinduism. Rudra Singh, he was the most powerful Ahom ruler. He ruled from 1696 to 1714. He and the later rulers compiled the work as Buranjis or Ahom historical works. In the 19th century, Assam became a part of British India and but the Ahoms still live as a small tribal group in Assam. So during the 19th century, Ahom tribal group it became a part of the British India. The Assam it became a part of British India during 19th century with the arrival of British. With the advent of British, Assam became a part of British India. So the Ahoms still they live as a small tribal groups in Assam. So we in today's class we discussed about two main tribal kingdoms, two powerful independent kingdoms, Gonds and Ahoms. Gonds they were the most powerful tribal community in central India, and Ahoms were a tribal community who established a kingdom in the region of present day Assam. And with this, we have completed this chapter. So, thank you, students.